What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. Pretty interesting day. Good range today. A lot of good heavy hitters. So like always, let's start with the old X here as we come through on some of the calls. Now, like I said, we had retail sales data coming in. So I wanted some clarity, and I had a bunch of different targets set up here. And with the new system I'm running, I had an opportunity to kind of see a long or a short, right? And what I'd seen on the downside targets were only two. And then I had actually not three, but four targets up here. So prior to retail sales, what had happened is we got a wick down, closing both these targets off, and then slamming up right here, right? So then it made that tail candle and came up. So I'm like, okay, well, it came down, hit both price targets, filled what it needed to fill. So I'm assuming we're just going to head back up, and away we go for a little bit on the scalp. So we needed some directional. So again, prior to the open here, I said I was going to, after the retail sales here, we got the candle for retail sales. I said I'm going to stay short out of the gate here. Doesn't matter if it's scam pops. We're going to come back down to target 1, target 2, and we're going to stay short on the Qs at open. Oh, man. Holy, sorry about that. Something just flew right in my eye. All right. So this is what we've seen at the open. Opened up, dipped, hit first target on a layover, back up a little bit, and of course we washed out. So stayed short, had a little bit of a scam pop there, and then called another one. Now the SPY short was a 1618, and we'll go over this one real quick. As I said, short here, come down to target 1, target 2. And then later on, this would be your final target, T3, but those are very limited percent to get 3 targets out of it. Usually we're out of 80% of position in target 1, the rest in target 2. And if you want to trickle a tiny percent of your position still on, like 10% or so, and you only want to take off maybe 70, 20, 10 on target 1, 2, 3, by all means. But we don't worry about the bonus round, as we call it, but huge targets 1 and 2 hit today. And then yeah, most we called those shorts, came back up, even drew a nice little picture here for the next target, and this is that last trade for target 3. And of course, like we said, if we stay under 562.73, we have an opportunity to go back under. If it holds the 100 fib, then it's game over. It squeezes right back up in a scam, which is fine. And last trade of the day right here, which we expressed in chat, we'll go over as well. We got $1,200 out of this guy. Wanted the final target down here, and eventually we will get this target because this is data of the fib box that needs to be filled, but it just wasn't today. But we did catch a 12-point move here for 1,200 as well. So let's get over all of these trades real quick. Started with the SPY. So what we did is we fibbed out again that pre-market data, right? High-low on the 5-minute for the Fibonacci, okay? So when you come into today, you're going to get that 1618 that I had posted here for the pop to drop. So you came from the fib box out to the 1618 on the fib, right to the golden pocket, which we love so much. And that was our first short call, especially on the Qs. Like I said, I'm shorting Qs and staying short. But covering SPY right now, this sucker came all the way back up to the 2618, right? Shied it all the way back down to the golden pocket. Now, this is the scenario for that last trade call where it had to stay under, right? And I had a huge move down here for about 15 points. It's about $1,600 at one point where we had those 2 ES contracts on. But then we started to see it hold 100. And then I called for my team right here. I said, hey, it looks like a scam over ES's 5,700 level. Try to get out. So we grabbed 12 points on that in the premium chat. We went through everything on the Discord like always. And we came over to ES, and this is what we've seen. So again, I have the data candle for the retail sales, high, low, pushed on here to the ES chart. This is the same thing, obviously, is going to happen here. Box, 1618, golden pocket, almost 2618, golden pocket, and then chop, 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 chop. Now, we needed to stay under 5,696.5 in order to get to our final target of the bottom of that fib range, because now we are left with the data of the bottom half of the retail sales data here that still needs to be filled up with price action, which is fine. This is going to be a short target. Now, whatever happens out here, we consolidate and continues higher, whatever the data brings, sure, doesn't matter to me, but eventually we will come back down for this box on the lower of the retail sales. So that was a good one. Let's talk about some anchors real quick here. So you know I love the anchors as well. So we use anchor view apps here, and this strategy for anchor view apps we had a couple different really strong ones. So yesterday, the high, we put a top-down anchor VWAP on. So we grabbed the high a day right here, and then notice the price action never made it back to the anchor VWAP. Notice the price action was never tagged in any one of these pushes towards the VWAP. That means the day coming, it needs a magnet and it needs a tag. This is another reason why we went short after retail sales, especially on the Qs, because we got to pop back up and it needed to come back down into the blue anchor from yesterday, right? So it came down and hit that anchor, and then once it failed that, we could have went down to the secondary anchors, which we'll talk about in a second, but it ended up holding that blue anchor the entire day and having a massive squeeze at the end of the day there. Not too bad, no big deal. Eventually we will come back down, just like our last few videos we kept talking about. The blue anchors, these will become back testable, so we're going to keep those babies on, and we will get a live tag of those lowers. Those are made from yesterday's price action lows at the end of the day, and we need live trading hours. So obviously during live hours, we need a tag of those VWAPs, just like we did with the top down. So live trading came through with the top down, hit, and then went off. Let's take a peek at Qs real quick, because Qs was the real winner today. Like I said, staying short out of the gate. And we had beautiful anchors here as well. So I did take some anchors. I moved them from over here. And then that break anchor and this anchor were the ones that I was working with this morning. So what I had seen here was an opportunity, again, for retail sales, because I love the retail sales data. I fibbed the high-low out, right, of the candle. Then I played the fib box. So we seen a push out of the gate on the Qs, and I said I was going to stay short on Qs like the post said. We stayed under the 1618, broke all the way down in a beautiful dump, all the way down for a fresh low, came back towards that 2618 to the bottom side actually, and then picked back up, right? But again, these anchors, and this is why I was so helpful with that short. The SPY broke through the upside of this anchor and held it, but the Qs broke through and down. So if this was the blue VWAP, like we had just covered on SPY, it rode this one up. But this overlay anchor from yesterday on QQQ actually broke down. And that was the beautiful part about shorting those Qs. It came down to the second anchor here and even fresh lows and barely came back to halfway to highs of the range of day. So lots of divergence in those markets, right? That's a really big part of utilizing each market. Sometimes we trade Q, sometimes we trade ES. Sometimes one side has the better option for the pick, and that's why we were shorting Qs this morning out of the gate, because we identified a better trade. Okay, so with the Discord, I just want to show you guys, like, in getting trapped in a lot of this stuff here. We'll bring this back in here. And this was the call that I had made, that last trade call on X and on Twitter, and I narrated the whole way through it as we are on the mobile here. And I said, just careful for that 5,696. If we hold above there, she's going to scam up. So in this area right here, I went through and I talked about how you can see we hit 5,700 twice. The third attempt is going to break through and squeeze out. That's what it did. Went straight up. So I was telling everybody to get out right here at 11:58 Central. Instead of 2K, we grabbed $1,200 out of that last trade call we posted on X. And then I said, watch out for the scam on NQ. Okay. 20,500 here on an NQ as well. Watch the next scam. Okay, so I seen some algos come in hot right here. Damn, that is a huge level the line. I watched some algos come in and I alerted everybody at 12:20 Central, and I said 12,500. Here's the next Q as well. Watch that next scam. Posted a picture here at the NQ of 20,500. I did not like the algo setup that I seen, so we got out of all shorts. Now, if we take a quick peek here at the NQ and 20,500. You can see that came in right here. Now 20,500, again, I said just watch that level, looking real scammy. So I went to the 1 minute and 5 minute, okay, and we'll get these up here. Now the oscillation indicators are telling me that there's lots of divergence here, right? So what we're seeing in the indicators here on the bottom of the screen is we're getting a low and a higher low on the MAC. I don't know if you can see that perfectly. We'll scoot her over a little bit here. Whoop. So we were getting a low and a higher low on the MAC, even though we were getting a lower low in price action above. And then again, with the higher low right here on RSI compared to this oversold at 9 a.m., was giving us divergence. So I picked a half-whole psychological level of 20,500. And I said, watch this level. We're going to get scammed right here because you can see the divergence playing out in the MACD and the RSI. If you're not familiar with these indicators, if you go to the indicators we use section here on YouTube, I explain how we read these and use them here at Boardroom Trading. Now we came into that 20,500 level, scammed right out like expected. So glad we got out of that trade because it went another 100-point run to the upside. So that is a big dangerous level there. Now again, as long as the ES here walks itself back down, ES is the extended one here. Qs was still kind of lazy. We might see some back tracing and some retests. So right now we're in the bottom channel starting here this morning or the afternoon this morning. The open at futures, we're coming to the MAC 0 line and the bottom channel, the RSI. So if we maintain under that 50 RSI, we will start a slow potential downtrend. Now, a lot of the times we do get sideways action where it just pins like this and gets manipulated, and then this goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and just pins at the 50. Price action does nothing. We've seen a lot of that at the after hours game, and that's a lot of the time waiting for data, which is perfectly fine. So last but not least, those are all the breakdowns of the market and why we picked what we picked, because we had a really nice call, green, get out. We had a whole bunch of stuff. I want to talk briefly on 1 minute high-low channels in the zones for the Fibonacci, because this is what I used after hours and a lot of my targeting systems for sideways consolidation. So the market in price action will end up channeling like this a lot, and this is on the 1 minute chart, and you see these sideways channels like this where it inevitably comes up, double tops and double bottoms, right? And this creates a channel. You use the high low of these consolidation channels here where delete, there we go, where we can dictate a good Fibonacci sequence from. This is another reason that I knew the scam was coming right here on SPY, because of these Fibonacci channels. So to draw these high lows, we're very easily just going to find a high-low range. So like right here on the back of this 1 minute, there we go, ES, this is a decent one. So what we had seen is we had consolidation, low, consolidation. So consolidate, low, big crack, consolidate, low, big crack, consolidate, so on and so forth. Now, this guy, even though it's on a 1 minute, it's real small. I'm going to grab this consolidation high, low. And if I was trading after hours, all I'm doing is grabbing the range in which something got stuck in, right? So it comes up, it's a little bit off there. It comes up, finds a high and a low, sets it, and then it gets stuck. Here's the high, here's the low. Price action gets stuck in the middle. But when this price action finally breaks up or down, it doesn't really matter which way it is. You can draw Fibonacci's both ways, right? So if we grabbed this side and pointed it to the downside, we would also have targets of the 1618 above or below. So here's our 1618 to the top, 1618 to the bottom, 2618 to the bottom, 2618 to the top. So luckily, we're obviously coming off of a long reversal move. We can see that in the MAC cross here. So we're getting a fast term long breakout here on the oscillation indicators RSI and MAC. So the extensions here, you back up a little bit, and it ends up being an absolute perfect through the night, right? This is 3-4 in the morning, my time, central. Comes up to the 1618, holds, waits for the moving average 100 EMA to catch back up, pushes yet again, 2618, shies it a little bit, does not get it, does a huge consolidation zone, right? Here's the retail sales data, comes back up, and then bloop, big chop fest right at our final target 666 from the Fibonacci box range of the high low here. Now again, it's not if the Fibonacci is going to work, it's when the Fibonacci is work. If you correctly draw these Fibonacci's and wait, they always work. It's not if, it's when. So let's try another zone right here. We have a ton of high low tapping right here, okay? So obviously our zone gets fibbed out like so. Topping, topping, base, base, top, mid, top, retail sales data, top and gone. Okay, so let's go see where this ends up. I haven't done these yet. We're just doing this live because I want to be able to pick these out. Well, that's a beauty. So, and you know how Fibonacci, we walk ourselves up and then back down. So now with this Fibonacci right here, we just have a beautiful scale to that upside. Look, we have this tight box, very small range. Notice we broke out of the box, came to the 2618, held the 100, went way up to that 423.60 in the white right here. Boom. Gave up all the way back down to golden pocket again. And then again, maxed out to the 666. So again, this Fibonacci structure, it likes to walk up and walk down. So again, that price action pushes outside the box. This is our box to 1618, 2618, back down to the 100 fib. all the way out to 423.6, back down to golden pocket. Okay. And then all the way back up to 666, and then 423.60, 2618, 1618, 100. And then she got scammed again and off went away. So again, these Fibonacci high-low ranges, when you are trying to figure out your consolidation, trying to figure out how to draw these nice clean ones, look at your MAC, right? And then decide with your MAC and RSI and some moving averages, hopefully, what your high-low is going to do. So we have another really interesting back and forth beat. And this is what I said on our Discord, where I said we've already attempted 5,700 3 different times, right? So if you look at a 5-minute chart, we've attempted to break up, attempted to break up, attempted to break up, and then finally squeeze. 3rd time's a charm, right? So I would say this zone is a very nice high-low zone to take as well. So again, I'm just going to draw these fibs. It's not if, it's when. We're going to take the high of this range and a decent low of this range where we hit most of the candles there. So you notice again, just a 1 minute high-low box, boom. So we got 1 tag, 2 tag, 3 tag, 4 tag, just about 1 tag, 2 tag, 3 tag, 4 tag, 5 tag, just about. So this high-low range, let's back it up, see what we get. Ooh, that's a nice one too. So again, the high-low range predicts in the Fibonacci box, since we already have data down here, we don't need to worry about that, shoots out to the 1618, comes back down to the golden pocket, holds, higher low, holds, pushes, squeezes 2618. Beautiful move. Again, giving you everything you need. Now take a peek at our indicators like we just said. What do you see during this consolidation? So this piece of the pie right here was where we drew it, right? This was the start point of our box for fibs. Beautiful, right? Then we get the MAC cross right here, 1120, 1130. Bullish, big wave, bullish. Higher high on RSI to higher low, bullish to higher high again, and predicting the 1618. And of course, you can lead this into the next sequence, right? And just watch your MAC. So I hope that makes sense. If you find value, you want to trade with us in the morning, please stop by Boiler Room Trading. Links are in the description. You want to trade with Top Step or Apex, we have codes for both if you find value here and want to support the channel. We are much obliged. We love all. Come join us in the community. We have a large Discord that we always walk all of these trades through every single day that we can. And yeah, we have a great time doing it. So catch us live every single morning that the market is open. And if that sounds fun and want to trade with us, jump down to the description. The link is there. And if not, we'll catch you on the next video.